Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up my veggie meat, which is, I'm totally cheating here. I'm using the Eve's Italian veggie ground round, so it's already seasoned. So I'm just going to heat up. I just put it in a frying pan with like an inch of water and then a lid, and I'll flip it and it just basically to thaw it out. I'm sure you could do that in the microwave as well if you've got one. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Another cheat here. I'm going to be using these already seasoned. There's 2 Italian and then 1 garlic and olive oil, only because I got them, I coupon them, they're totally free and I want to use them up. So I'm going to use that. And then I am also going to cut up some fresh tomatoes and put those in there as well. And then in here I'm going to get my noodles going. Alright, so my ground round is just completely dissolved here, and I find the seasoned one dissolves completely differently than the other one. So obviously I've got an abundance of water here, but that's okay. It will evaporate. So I'm just putting my onion in. There's only like half of a large onion, but I think that's going to be fine. I'm not making as large of a batch as I normally do because my freezer is abundantly full, and we don't eat a whole lot of these like lasagna type meals this time of year. But I've been dying to try these lasagna roll-ups, so I'm just going to do like a single batch, which is, you know, enough for like 3 meals for Jaxten and I probably. But maybe for a normal family this is only 1 meal, so you'll obviously want to make 4 or 5 times this much at one time. And then just freeze it if you've got a nice big deep freeze or something. So I'm just going to let this simmer on low here, and then I'm going to get started. I'm going to put my 3 cans of crushed seasoned tomatoes, which obviously you can just chop up tomatoes and season them yourself. And then I've got here just some other veggies that I'm going to add in. I have some fresh tomatoes, some zucchini, and then some carrots that I'm going to add in, and I'm going to see if my cauliflower is okay, and I'm going to add that in as well. So first thing I'm going to do is throw these tomatoes in here. Alright, so I have only added 2 cans because my pot's not big enough. I seriously need a pot that is like bigger than this one, but smaller than my big one. It's like that big, something like that. So anyways, I'm making it go. Sorry for the music in the background, it's totally going to get me copyrighted. Anyways, 2 cans of tomatoes and all my wonderful veggies minus the cauliflower because it was no-go. So I'm just going to get my noodles started over here. Alright, so it's been a little bit, maybe 20 minutes here, and I've got this sauce is coming along nicely, so I'm just going to let it till all the vegetables get a little bit more cooked, and I've got it cooked. That was funny how I said that. Oh man, it's late. So I'm just going to cook this on a medium here, and my meat's still over here, or veggie meat, so I'm going to eventually put that in here. I'm just wanting to wait till this is a little bit more done. And for right now, we have our water boiling. So I'm going to put in, these are the noodles I'm going to use, are spinach lasagna noodles by Catelli, and I'm going to cook these al dente, so not really all that much, definitely not as much as I would do if I was doing normal lasagna. Okay, so while my noodles are cooking and doing their thing, I'm going to mix my cheeses. So I didn't measure in cups here. I did 2 of these full of the cheddar cheese, and I just used my Tillamook cheddar cheese. And then I did 1 of these full of mozzarella. And it was just one of the little, you can see the size here. This was the mozzarella. It's not the best mozzarella in the world, but I usually get all my cheese in the States, except for I didn't have any mozzarella and I was not, you know what I mean. So I just got that from a local store. So there's my mozzarella there, and then this, and it obviously calls for freshly grated Parmesan, which would be ideal, but once again, I don't have any, so I'm just going to use the Parmesan cheese I have on hand. I know, ick, but if you want to make it right, definitely don't use this stuff. That's what I'm going to use. So, not really going by cups, I'm just kind of going by like what I feel should go in there. But probably say like I'll do almost a cup, maybe I'll measure this one. Okay, so I'm starting off my cheese mixture with my 1 container of ricotta cheese here. I think this is 500 grams. And then 1 egg, and I'm going to put in about probably like a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, and then the same amount of pepper as well. So I'd probably say like a quarter teaspoon. Then I'm just going to mix those guys together. And then I'm going to add in some parsley. And then once my parsley is all mixed in, I'm going to put the other cheeses. So this cheese mixture with the mozzarella, cheddar, and Parmesan. And I mean, I don't think cheddar's typically in lasagna, but I've got more cheddar than anything else, and we like cheddar, so that's why I'm adding that in there. So I would say that this is well combined. Sorry for this weird shadows I've got going on. There we go. So I'm going to add in my other cheese mixture now. And just mix that in nicely. This is going to be hard while holding the camera. But I'm just going to mix that until it is well blended. Guess who wound up having to double this recipe because she didn't add the cheese in slowly and had way too much grated cheese. Yeah, this girl right here. Bad decision. Anyway, so we're doubling this recipe now, but I just added another container of this and another egg and some more salt and pepper, and we're good to go. Totally fine by me. I've got plenty of sauce anyways and lots of noodles on hand, so we're good. So yeah, this is my cheese sauce here. I've got this, which is, you know, where I'd like it to be. So I'm going to add in the meat, and then these guys are cooking away, and they should be done in any second. So that they're not fully cooked, but still bendy enough. So my sauce is feeling way bland, so I'm adding in some oregano, I believe. Let's look. We've got oregano and basil. So I'm just adding in about that much. Next time I do a recipe video, I will most certainly measure things out. But for now, who needs to measure? It just was tasting a little bit bland to me. So I just want to, you know, add a little something something to it, make it have a little bit more bite. And then I'm also going to add in some of this stuff, my favorite. I use it in like probably every recipe video I do. Just organic ground garlic. Added in about that much right there, so I would say about a teaspoon, maybe half a tablespoon. I'd probably say more like half a tablespoon. That sounds a little bit more accurate. And now it smells much better. I don't know, for some reason I smell things rather than taste them a lot of the time. Like they just smell right or they smell wrong. It is a little bit watery, so when I'm scooping it to put on the noodles, I'll probably do something more like this rather than all this watery mixture. Because it is super watery. Which is, you know, okay for some recipes, but not for this one. So, noodles ready, gonna strain them. So hopefully the lighting isn't too funky here. It is at night, so my lighting choices aren't the best. And I've got you all propped up funny here. But hopefully it's not too bad. So anyways, I've got my al dente lasagna noodle here. And I am just going to put the sauce mixture on there first. So I'm just going to put whatever your meat sauce is, and I've made mine much less runny than it was, because as you saw, it was like crazy. This is the first one, so don't judge. Don't judge. I've never made these before. And then I've got my cheese mixture. And then I'm going to roll it up. Let's see how she rolls. Alright, Pinterest. Moment of truth. Kind of. Ah. Okay. That was a rough go. It was a rough one, but I can see how that's going to be cool. So, now I'm just going to flip it onto this side. And get my containers out. Another one. Hopefully you can see that one still. And then I got these containers. I'll show you in a second. I got them from Superstore, and I you can get them at the dollar store as well, and they were $2.50 for I think 5 of them, and I got just like, I think it's called large, but it's really like a small medium size, and which is perfect just for Jax and I, and because that'll give us enough for dinner, and then, you know, if we have company over or something like that, for leftovers, which is important. So I'm trying to make these a little bit less full than the other ones, because, you know, when it gets all rolled up and whatnot, it, you know, really adds to it. So, yeah, this one goes, yeah, so this is kind of my method. I roll it on here, and then I grab it with my giant flipper guy. And then I just sardine them into my thing, which I'm going to show you in 2 shakes here. So this is the size of the container, and I've just got these 2 in there, and then this little straggler guy, which is fine. Perfect for Rue and I for one dinner. So, so they look like empty, so I'm just going to roll them all up and then put the lid on and freeze them. I'll probably put one more. I'll just double layer it. It'll look nicer. I'll show you another one. It'll look better, I promise. Okay, so this is what they look like. I did a few different roll-up style. I did this one where I put them not this way, but I put them this way. And then I've got a teeny tiny little guy. Oh, there it is. And then I've also got these ones where I've rolled them up this way, and I've done a combination that fits 3 really nicely. And then these ones where I've rolled them up all this way. They're a little bit sloppy. There's a real fine line between getting your noodles perfect. Like, these ones were like harder than I thought that they should be, but perfect. Whereas opposed to these ones were a little bit gooier. And I'm okay with the leakage. I knew that my sauce was runny, so you want more of a paste than this kind of a sauce that I made, but I'm fine with it. It's because of the tomatoes that I used. They were chunky stewed instead of crushed, so whatever. Whatevs, it's late. It's all good. It took me about an hour total to make all of these, and I've got enough ingredients. I've got tons more of this, and then I've got some more of that, so I could definitely make some more. And this was kind of my station. This guy was just super helpful, and my 2 spoons, and then, yeah. And then I'm going to sprinkle this cheese on top of all of these guys, and throw them in the freezer. So I'll show you them all stacked up, just so you can see their cuteness. Okay, so here's our finished product. I just quickly label makered them just to make sure, because sometimes I'll put meat products in these things. Well, generally not me, but my mom will. So in case this makes its way to her house. And then I took some of the extra sauce and I made just a little thing of spaghetti sauce for Jax. So that's labeled, and then the rest of it fit in all into my Pyrex container here, which I love these containers, but my goodness, like, these labels just drive me bonkers. So yeah, I'm trying to switch everything over to these, so hopefully in like a couple months all my freezer cooking Friday vlogs will all be done in these, which would be really, really nice because these are disposable, and I'm not a huge fan of these guys either, but we're getting there. We've got 2 of these. Anyways, oh yeah, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but Rue is Jax's nickname. So I don't know if you ever hear me referring to Rue, that's who it is. So anyways, here is our lasagna roll-ups all ready to go.